Well, if you watch this show with any regularity, if you watch it with any regularity, you know we always start off with a little piece of memorabilia. Here's a neat one. It's an old Dodger magazine from 2012. Look who's on it. Hanley Ramirez, and believe it or not, Shane Victorino. Remember those guys? Wow, we made some trades that year, didn't we? Well, I want to show you a couple of things out of this magazine from 2012. First of all, it reminds us all about the big blockbuster deal they did with Adrian Gonzalez and Josh Beckett and Carl Crawford, and we all remember that one. That was a big deal. Wait, let me go. Big blockbuster, yeah. But the other thing that's even cooler in here, they showed some reunion pictures. This is kind of cool. Check this one out. There's a picture in here of the 1965 World Championship team in 2005, included Wes Parker, Willie Davis, Maury Wills, and Lou Johnson. Look at that one. That's for all you oldies like me who remember all those guys. Yeah. I met Wes Parker a couple of times. My parents met Maury Wills, got his autograph for me. And I met Lou Johnson, too. Yeah, I miss those guys. Only guy left in that picture, Wes Parker, still hanging in. Good one. Dodger magazine from 2012. Wow. That's kind of cool. Shane Victorino. Hanley Ramirez. Oh, my goodness. He was great when he wasn't getting drilled in the ribs by guys. All right, let's start the show. I want to do something different. Let's see if this works. Let's try it out. We're going to overlap a bunch of home runs to start the show. Let's do it. We'll play these later. All right, here we go.
Freeman.
And Ohtani flops on the pitch for Ohtani. He didn't have away seat in top of the sixth. Here's Freddie Freeman.
That was fun.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Yeah, it is. Well, we got a lot of baseball this weekend. Dodgers in the middle of their big 10-game road trip with no days off. And that's why certain moves have been made certain times. But anyway, come on and pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers. This is the best, first, and only video podcast by fans, for fans of your LA Dodgers. Killing myself getting up here. All right, Dodgers sit at 25-12 right now. That's good for first place over the Padres. All right. They're a game and a half over the Padres and over the Giants, also a game and a half, although those two teams are percentage points apart. There's one win separating them, I guess. The D-backs, who are playing tonight, are now firmly entrenched in fourth place, 6 games back. And before this weekend is out, it should be 10, right? Let's sweep these guys, do 4. Can we do it? I think we can. This is a good team, but I think we can do it. We got enough arms and legs. All right, let's do a quick review of the 3 games we had in Miami, because I got a rant going on. Randy's rant is going to happen here pretty soon. In Game 1, Ohtani and Freeman went deep, and Ben Casparis was pretty sharp, and the Dodgers beat the Fish 7-4. Let's hear those 2 home runs. Freeman in the 3rd, Ohtani in the 5th. Do it.
Freeman flies into center field. Myers on the run, on the warning track, at the wall. It's gone! Freddie Freeman lets one fly. His 7th home run of the season. And now a 3-0 Dodger lead.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. Shohei Ohtani did his thing.
And Ohtani hammers this one to right field. If it stays up, it's gone. It is gone. A home run into the Dodger bullpen. A frozen rope for Ohtani. Oh, showtime here in South Florida. A 2-run shot. It is 5-0 Dodgers.
That was great. They went on to beat the Fish 7-4 in that game. That was Game 1. And that was a good game. Really good game. In fact, the whole series is pretty entertaining for various reasons. In Game 2, the 2 guys that just hit those home runs did it again. Should we hear them? Yeah, let's hear them. Let's do them both. Here's Ohtani again.
The way Quantrill pitched Ohtani, he may be happy to see Veneziano.
Shohei Ohtani launches one deep to right. He remains a menace to the Marlins.
That is an upper deck monster shot on the first pitch against the Marlins reliever, and he ties the game at 2.
Yeah, was that the one that was 117 miles an hour? Anyway, okay. And then right after that, Freddie Freeman in the same inning, the 6th inning, did this.
One away here in the top of the 6th. Here's Freddie Freeman. His 350th career home run last night, his 41st against the Marlins. He is tied for the most number of homers against the Marlins. And Freeman lets one high and deep to center field. This ball heading back to the wall. It's gone! A homer! Freddie Freeman with a homer! And that gives the Dodgers a 3-2 lead.
Now this
home run number 8 for Freddie. And he now is the all-time run leader against the Marlins with 42.
If Veneziano was brought in to face the left-handed hitters, it really didn't work out that well.
Yeah, it didn't. Way to go, Karros. He's right. This was an interesting game from a lot of perspectives. Both guys went deep. That was nice. And I believe, this is my opinion now, Randy's rant. I believe the game was lost because management forced Dave Roberts to use Fire Eyes in the 10th inning. Now, everybody on the planet pretty much that's in the know knew that that's the wrong guy to use in the 10th inning. Dave knew the guy wouldn't be any good, couldn't prove his case verbally to management, so he did probably show him by just how bad a move it was by doing it. And he didn't want to, get tough with management, didn't want to cuss him out or anything, but he said, all right, you guys don't believe me? Check this out. And it came to pass. The Dodgers lost 5-4 in 10 innings. Just my humble opinion. Tony Gonsolin, though, was solid in that game. He pitched five innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, but he struck out 8 guys by himself. And for good measure, even pitched a 5-pitch inning to boot. That was pretty cool. So shout out to Tony Gonsolin. Looked magnificent. I think when you're on the road and you're going into extras now, it's even tougher than it was before. Being on the road anyway is not cool because you don't get the last at bat. Being on the road and not getting the last at bat is even worse when they put a guy on second in extra innings. I'm sorry, I don't care what you call it. I call it the ghost runner. We don't need that. We don't need that. Got to get rid of that. That made no sense to me, and it makes less sense now. But anyway, that was what happened. And like I said, Gonsolin was the shining point of that, I think, in that game. But we could have won that game. I mean, if Roberts would have done what he would have normally done and not shown management how wrong they were. But then again, it worked out because Fireisen was sent back down OKC, so that's good. All right, so that's my rant for the day. Let's go to Game 3. The Dodgers, in my opinion, were out for blood, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, they wanted to win the series. That's not the point. Did anybody of you raise your hand if you saw the second game in that series? One thing you don't like to see, and my friend Paul, shout out to Paul, by the way. Shout out to Paul. One thing you don't like to see is when there's a little showboating going on from a losing team. Now, when the Fish are down by as many runs as they were, you don't go hitting a home run and then go parading around your dugout like it's a big... Okay, that's one thing they did in the game previous. But in Game 2, at the end of Game 2, what really pissed me off was another rant, sorry. What happened was, we lose the game, okay? I knew it everybody knew when they put in Fire Eyes. We knew we were going to give it up. We knew it. I was talking to 6 guys on the phone at the same time. We knew it. Anyway, the problem I have with this is when you have a inferior team like the Rockies or the Marlins, they're 2 of the worst teams in the majors right now. If you beat the Dodgers, good for you. You beat us. We can't win every game. I get it. We're the evil empire now, sort of. But here's the thing that pissed me off. A classy group. Clayton McCulloch is now the manager. He was our first base coach last year. Clayton McCulloch's the manager now of the Marlins, and he allowed this to happen, I guess. His team goes parading on the field after beating us. That's fine. High five, whatever. But they were parading like it was 1999, like they had just won the World Series. Wrong. You don't do that to the Dodgers. And I said, there's either going to be some real nasty chin music in Game 3 or the Dodgers are going to beat the crap out of the Fish. Well, the latter happened. In my humble opinion, the Dodgers were out to, for blood to teach the Marlins a lesson in Game 3. The Fish were flying around like they won the World Series. So I thought that was pretty Bush League. I'd predicted that either we'd have some fancy chin music or we'd shoot some fish in a barrel and blow them away. We did the latter. James Outman jumped out of his slump with a home run in the 9th inning, and the Dodgers blew away those Fish. We'll tell you about that in a second. Let's hear Outman's home run because he's been dry for a long time. He's just now coming back into his own. Check it out. Go, Outman.
And with 2 outs, the Dodgers have runners at first and third. James Outman will come up. Well, he swings well here, and he hammers one to center field. It's deep. It's back to the wall. It's gone. A home run. A 3-run home run for James Outman. Boy, did he clobber that one.
Outman goes out for his first of the season, a 3-run shot, and the Dodgers keep pouring it on.
And shout out to James Outman. I'm glad you figured it out, buddy. You're one of the good guys. I'm glad you got a home run. It was so great. Anyway, the Dodgers did blow the Fish away. Landon Knack did his job, man. The guy who needed some length, he did it. He went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 0 runs. Can I get a shout out for... Yeah, Landon Knack was great. 0 runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks over 75 pitches on his way to a win over the Fish, 10-1. 10-1? Yeah. Back on you. Hey, Karma's a bitch. Hae-Sung Kim went 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. That was pretty cool for Hae-Sung Kim. Great way to take the series from those Marlins, especially when they're showboating like they won the World Series in Game 2. I'm sorry, when you're a crappy team, you don't do that. Hey, if the Rockies did that, we'd kick their we might anyway when we see them. If they pull that crap, I'm gonna be really ticked off. All right, great way to take the series from the Fish. We did it. On to Arizona. We'll talk about them in a few minutes and all the other stats that go with it. Fun stuff. It's all fun because it's a podcast, and we're having fun talking about our favorite team, right? We always talk about Dodgers. Why? Because we love the Dodgers. That's why. All right. Boy, we got a lot of shout-outs. Let's do them. We got more and more people watching the show because we got more and more viewers, so thank you for watching. Here's shout-outs to... Am I going to do it in one breath? I'll give it a shot. Shout-outs to Darla J, David J, Kenny M, Bobby K, Kevin H, Joaquin B, Danny T, Lorraine P, Bernie B, Peter G, Jeff P, Brian D, Lynn T, Paul D, Roger E, and you and me, and Fox Jabri, who is Fox Kelly because he is El Zorro. Props to the crowd. Thank you, everybody, for watching Let's Talk Dodgers. Thank you so much for watching. Tell all your Dodger loving friends to watch, too. Tell them to like us on Facebook. And tell them to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. I'm getting excited. As always, we're talking Dodgers all the damn time. We're always talking Dodgers. Why? That's what we do. That's what we do. Go Blue. Welcome aboard to all the newbies. As always, we're talking Dodgers in here. Go Blue. We love you. And you can send fan mail to us. Yeah, send me some fan mail. All you got to do is write it, put it in here on Facebook, or you can leave comments somewhere in YouTube if you want. I don't read them all the time, but I'll try to. And also, the best way, letstalkdodgers@gmail.com. Did you get that? Okay, letstalkdodgers@gmail.com for the fan mail. This date in Dodger history, I got a great one. A real great one, which dovetails into the trivia quiz later. This date in Dodger history was May 8th, 1973. Oh, that's a big year in my life. On this date, May 8th, 1973, Willie Stargell clears the right field pavilion at Dodger Stadium with a 470-foot home run off Andy Messersmith during a 7-4 Dodger win over the Pirates. I'll take that. It was the second time that Stargell cleared the pavilion. He did it first August 5th, 1969. Over the first 35 years of the ballpark's existence, that's 1962 to 97, Stargell was the only individual to hit one out of Dodger Stadium. And of course, he did it twice. Who was the second guy? Well, that's a great trivia question. We'll save it and give you that later, all right? Willie Stargell, on this date, hit his second home run out of Dodger Stadium over the pavilion. You got to tip your Dodger cap to a guy like that. Not many guys have done it, a handful. We'll tell you about them later. All right, stats of the day, we got a ton of them. Ohtani's 9th homer of the year, 2-run blast off the Marlin righty Sandy Alcantara, was the 5th inning. Came off his bat at an eye-popping 117.9 miles per hour. It was the 5th hardest hit round tripper of Ohtani's career, including the postseason, and the superstar now has the Dodgers' top 13 exit velocities on batted balls since StatCast began tracking in 2015. And I say to that, do you care? I didn't even put the sounder up there. No, because all I care about is if it clears the fence. Hey, you can go 1,000,000 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour. I don't care. If it clears the fence, I'm good. Are you with me? Yeah. Hey, just clear the damn fence. The kids might like it because it's fun. It attracts more people to the game. I don't know. Who cares about exit velocity? I care about, did it make it to the fence? That's what I care about. All right, other stats. Freddie Freeman made history twice over his the latest solo homer in Miami. It was his 351st home run, tied now with Dick Allen for number 99 on the all-time home run list. It was also his 42nd blast against the Fish, breaking a 3-way tie with Ryan Zimmerman and Ryan Howard for all-time leading home runs against the Marlins. Nobody has more against the Fish now than Freddie Freeman. That's cool. That's almost a do you care, though. But this begs the question now that MLB is going to answer in a second. Who hit the most home runs versus every team, or more specifically, who hit the most home runs against us? And for our franchise, all-time home run king against was none other than, do you know? Anybody take a guess? Yeah, come on, who was one of our biggest nemesis all throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s? Yeah, Willie Mays did it. I'll give him a cheer. He was one of the greatest to ever do it. And if you were alive and watching a lot of those games as I did, you know he had a lot of home runs, 98 to be exact, against the Dodgers in his career. The active leader in home runs against the Dodgers right now, take a guess. Anybody know? It's Paul Goldschmidt with 35. Tip of the cap. Hey, anybody can hit that many home runs against us, they deserve to be a superstar, and Paul Goldschmidt certainly is. Incidentally, Freeman is now one of 28 players all time with at least 350 home runs and 500 doubles. Think he'll make the Hall of Fame? Yeah, bet on it. Speaking of Freddie, during his now 12-game hitting streak, he's hitting .478 with 4 home runs and 18 RBIs. I'll take that any day of the week. Yeah, and yesterday he went 3 for 4 with a triple and a run scored. Wow. What other stats we got? We're not going to go where you think we are. How about this one? Don't look now, but Ben Kasparius has a 1.20 ERA, 2 earned runs in 15 innings over his last 5 outings, and he's earned wins in 4 of those appearances. Way to go, Ben Kasparius. That guy should be in the starting rotation, about any minute now. We're not going to do our Jumbo Jack watch this time. We'll do it next time, but right now, you know they're still doing it like every game, so we'll give you the stat on that next time. It gets a little old doing it every time. Quick hit trivia. We told you earlier in the show that Willie Stargell hit his second home run out of Dodger Stadium on this date in 1973, but my question to you is this. Who was the second person to ever accomplish that feat? Who was the second person to ever hit it out of Dodger Stadium over the pavilion? All right, we'll give you the answer. I know it. I'll tell you why later. You may know it. I'll tell you who got it wrong very soon. Let's get you out of the ballpark. This is a big one. This weekend is going to be huge. The team is in Phoenix to play the D-backs for a 4-game series. Should be fun. By the way, wait a minute. Those of you in Phoenix are going through that. I was hoping I'd be there at this time because I could get there. It's a cheap way to watch the Dodgers. Why? Everybody in California, the Angels, the A's, I don't care who you are, San Diego, the Giants, it'll cost you big money to see the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium or any of the other venues in the state where Major League Baseball is played. Because we have Ohtani, and they know it, we know it. They jack up the prices when the Dodgers come to town. You know that. Guess who didn't jack up the prices? The D-backs didn't. You can still buy a ticket to the game for $30 or $40 if you're in Phoenix. So any of you there, let me know if you're there. Aaron, shout out to Aaron. Aaron, come on, go to the game, dude. It's cheap. Yeah, it's cheaper than here, I'll tell you that much. All right, Thursday, it's tonight, 5-8. That's today. Yamamoto, 4-2 with an 0.90 ERA. Are you bleeping me? A .90 ERA. He's going against Brandon Pfaadt. He's 5-2 with a 3.79 ERA. 6:40 start on Sportsnet LA. Okay, that's tonight. Tomorrow's game, 5-9. Roki Sasaki and his 1-1 3.86 record. He's going against Ed Rodriguez. He's 1-3 with a 5.92 ERA. That's also a 6:40 start Pacific time on Sportsnet LA. And Saturday, this is going to be good. Dustin May, 1-2 with a 4.36 ERA, going up against Corbin Burns, 1-1 with a 3.58. That's a great pitching matchup. 5:10 Saturday night game on Sportsnet LA. And to close out the 4-game series on Sunday, 5-11, Dodgers haven't announced who their starter is going to be yet. Might be a bullpen game, might be something else, we don't know. But for the D-backs are going to be Zach Gallen. He's 3-4 with a 4.37 ERA, and that's a 1:10 game on Sunday on Sportsnet LA. All games on Sportsnet LA, no national broadcast for this weekend. All games are also on the Dodger flagship radio station, AM 570 LA Sports, KLAC. And in the Ventura County area, some news. Fans can hear all games over the all-new KVYB, Groovy 106.3. They've switched from 60s to 70s. They've switched from classic rock to 60s and 70s oldies. And, of course, KTNQ, La Super Q, 1020 has the Spanish broadcast all the time here in Los Angeles. It also has been confirmed that even though they switched formats, KVYB Ventura Oxnard has re-signed a new agreement to continue to carry the Dodgers in Ventura County for the next several years. So way to go, the Vibe, KVYB, and they play great oldies. Take it from me, I'm an oldies expert. If you like better, rarer oldies, check out my station, rockinradio.com. Shh, you didn't hear from me. All right, quick hit trivia answer. A few moments ago, we asked you, piggybacking on the day's event, on this date in 1973, Willie Stargell hit one out of Dodger Stadium. It was his second time he did it. Who was the second person to ever hit a homer over the pavilion and out of Dodger Stadium? Anybody know? You got no multiple choice, sorry. Well, it happened on September 21st, 1997. Even Bing's co-pilot AI got this one wrong because I asked them. They said it was McGwire. It wasn't Mark McGwire. It was Mike Piazza, the second player ever to do it. September 21st, 1997. McGwire was the third guy to do it, May 22nd, 1999, when he launched a 483-foot blast over the center field pavilion while playing for the Cardinals. Since then, a few other guys have done it. Does anybody know who they are? Just happened in the last few years? I think you do. Giancarlo Stanton did it. Fernando Tatis did it. And there's also another footnote involved here. The Braves' Ronald Acuna Jr. did it, but he did it during the first round of the 2021 T-Mobile Home Run Derby. Remember that one? He cleared the roof on the left field pavilion for a 472-foot shot during the Home Run Derby. Those are the only guys that have ever done it. Now, for our special content today, because you know I always leave cool content, we're going to post up a couple of things for you. We're going to post up a page on which you can read about those guys who hit the most home runs and all that out of Dodger Stadium, or the guys that hit home runs. And we're going to leave you also with a bit of, let's see. We're going to talk about the guys who hit all the, let's see, wait a minute, let's back up. We're going to leave two pieces of content. One is the guys who hit the most home runs against other teams. And the other thing I'm going to leave you is a blurb of somebody wrote about all the guys who've actually hit the home runs out of Dodger Stadium. So there's two things to look for underneath this show. So watch for it after I post the show. And as I said, Bing's co-pilot got it wrong, saying McGwire was the second guy after Stargell. Wrong. It was not. He didn't do it till a year later in 98. But in 97, it was Mike Piazza. How do I know? Because I was there. I saw that game. I was there. Other cool stuff. Don't forget, I leave cool stuff all the time. Here's a fun one. I was telling my buddy Paul about it earlier. Shout out again to Paul D. This is a time when, we were talking about guys getting chin music and getting brushed back. And, in the day of the 60s, it was known that Koufax didn't like to hit a lot of guys. He wouldn't do it if he didn't have to. Drysdale said, you hit one of my guys, hit 2 of yours. You hit 2 of mine, I hit 4. You do 2 for 1. You can't do that anymore. You get thrown out. But in the day back in the 60s when you could do stuff like that, Koufax had a very interesting time, and I'm going to tell you about the time he did hit somebody, and Drysdale tells the story on Koufax. I'll leave that cool stuff in there as well. All right, next show is going to be, sorry about the long show, but it's a long weekend because we're going to have 4 games instead of 3 in this series. So we'll be back probably on Monday with a show. And tell you what, we'll talk to you on Monday. Write to me at Let's Talk Dodgers. Thanks for watching again. We appreciate all of you who watch. Subscribe here in YouTube and in Facebook, and we'll be back on Monday with another show. So thanks for watching, and tell all your friends. Let's Talk Dodgers. We'll see you next time, everybody. All right? Okay. And go blue. And if you're going to the game, send me some pictures. Talk to you later, guys.
Play ball!